This week has really been a lot of shadow work. Shadow work meaning my deepest fears, insecurities, problems, even solutions, right? When we look into ourselves, we always see the problem, but there is a solution within that. Through that, because of those things, there is a solution. And so this week I've really been in my head a lot, dealing with myself. Self-work is continuous work, to the day I die, from all the way to my generations and generations after me. But I realized certain things about myself that I identified with at the time of a child, at the time of current events, at the time of my development from a child to a man. And certain things bother me. Certain things bother me in the sense of why can I not stop coping like this? Why can't I get out of this condition? Why do I still feel this way? Why can't I stop? You understand? And so these are certain things I ask myself, and man, I identify with so much stuff. I identified and addressed so many things that even I forgot about. I forgot about these things, or maybe I hid them. I hid them because I was so ashamed. And so it wasn't until yesterday that I realized when you missing certain things in your childhood and growing up, when you miss certain things when it comes to love and nurturing and affirmations, assurance, all these things that help you create you as a child, you realize that automatically, you don't even know this, but automatically you're going to go somewhere or to someone that can fulfill the void, fulfill what you're missing. I told my lady yesterday, I said, do you understand, we as humans and even the physiology of our body, if there's any deficits, we will automatically try to find a solution, find substance in something that can fulfill it and make us whole again. I said, that's just the way of life, just to feel whole. And I said, that's how the body works, just to feel whole. Feeling whole that's everything. Being whole I think that's just the definition of life. Being whole, being complete, being fulfilled. And I told her, when we get to a point where we're so deficient in certain substances, this is good, I'm about to say something. When we get so deficient in certain substances in life, the eager, the yearn, the urge of just being fulfilled is stronger than being able to distinguish whether that substance that you look for outside of yourself is good or bad. I'm gonna say that again. When we become so deficient, the urge of being fulfilled is stronger than the ability to distinguish whether that substance that you look for is good or bad. And that's what I call survival. Yeah. Now I know what survival really means. I mean, we know what survival is, but now I know that's survival right there. When you don't even have the time to be patient and sit back and see the substances that you're deficient in, and when you going out to look for these things, we're not able to distinguish the two, whether it's good or bad for you. That's survival. When you're just desperate to take anything that can make you whole, anything that can fulfill you, you're surviving. And I realized most of my life I've been surviving, and I realized certain triggers makes me feel like I'm back to where I was, and I'll do certain coping mechanisms to feel whole. And I told my lady that, and man, it dawned on me yesterday, and I was so filled with joy, but also like in awe, because I know it's not just me that's going through something like this. I know it's so many people, millions, billions of people that just cannot identify what's going on with them and why they are still doing the same thing. It feels like they're in autopilot. It feels like if it's one thing go wrong, they automatically go to this. If two things go wrong, they automatically go to these things. It feels like we're robots in the sense of certain triggers create certain coping mechanisms. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? And I didn't realize that until yesterday. And I've been fighting, man. I've been fighting, going through this with myself, man. By myself. I shouldn't have to, but by myself for 2 weeks. Something triggered me. And I saw how what I used to do, man, it was heavy on me. How I used to aid myself through pain. How I used to numb myself through pain. How I used to medicate myself through pain was so heavy on me. And I just couldn't fight it off. I was wondering, why do I feel this way? And I just couldn't get to it because I was so eager to feel whole. I couldn't distinguish whether it was good or bad. I was surviving. And I see that we as people, man, we go through that a lot. And we don't know what it is because we don't have time. We in so much mess, so much chaos. We don't even know why. Why? How did this even start? We don't have time to think about that. We're really trying to get out whatever we in. And then once we get out of that, we in something else and the cycle repeats. And I'm trying to really be a testament of this because this takes a lot of work to realize that. And man, that still, as you see, this still has me stunned because I see it. I see why I did these things. I see how it played an effect on me. I see how it controlled me. And I told my lady, I told her, hey, I understand you're saying people go through this, but I don't want to hear that. I'm trying to conquer this thing. I told her, I'm trying to conquer this thing. I don't want to be, I don't want to feel like it's okay. No. I want to conquer myself. I'm tired of this thing controlling me. Do you understand that? I've been able to accomplish so many things, but this thing right here, I need to conquer. I need to kill this thing. Because when I thought I was killing it, all I was doing, man, I lied. I didn't kill it. I just hit it. I hit it just in case I need to go back to it. Do you hear me? Just in case I need to go back, because this thing, man, I think this thing was the initial coping mechanism. I think this thing was the initial vice in my life growing up. I think this thing was the number one thing that really controlled me. And I don't want to be controlled anymore. Do you hear me? I don't want to be. This thing has to die. And I told her I have to kill this thing before it kills me. I have to kill this thing before it kills me, because I seen how much control it has over me. And it fooled me long enough to think I had control over it. Do you understand? I was so weak, I became delusional. And it showed me how much it drained me, how much it controlled me. Do you understand that? Oh my gosh. And I understand y'all are feeling the same way. This thing controlled me as such a, man, it controlled me in such a way that I thought I had control over it. Do you know how manipulative that is? Do you know how delusional I had to be? Do you understand that? I noticed in my undergrad days, when signs of dehydration or deficiency, there's symptoms of that, right? You'll start being delusional. You start seeing things. You start seeing 3, you start seeing in 2. It affects your vision, it affects your thinking. And I saw that this parasite, this leech, this ego of mine, this thing has been detrimental. But this one thing, which I think was the initial thing, has controlled me all my life. It knows me better than me because it made sure I didn't know myself. Do you understand that? I became my worst enemy. My ego became my worst enemy. And I realized certain things I cope with that is a hindrance to my life. Not only a hindrance to my life, but man, it for some reason controls my life. And I'm so big on making sure I control my life. I'm making sure that I control me, that I'm able to identify certain things and adjust. But this thing right here, y'all understand this. This thing has to die. This thing has to go because I have to conquer myself. I'm almost there, man. I'm like 80% fully conquered of myself. But guess what? This thing right here, man, this thing is going to take a lot of work. This thing is going to take a lot of work, a lot of muscle, because it not only is it in the roots, but this thing is rooted of the roots. This thing is deeper than deep. You understand that this thing was the first. And so I have to really put that work and I have to really dig. Not only do I have to kill this thing, I have to burn it. I need to burn it, and I make sure the ashes I need to put the ashes somewhere. I need to make sure I burn the ashes too. This thing can no longer enter my life because I feel how much control it has over me. So listen, you need to look at yourself this week and see what the things that's really have control over you, the things that you think you have control of. Realize that those things may have control over you. And so really look into yourself this week. I already need y'all to dig deep, man. I know it's hard. I know it's challenging, but guess what? You don't have to do it alone. If you can get, if you have a friend that you can really talk to, if you have benefits or insurance that get you the help that you need, mentally, do that, because you have to control yourself. You have to conquer yourself. You have to win yourself over and over again. If you don't conquer yourself, everything else will. You have to really, you got to hone into that power, hone into your power, and understand that you are powerful, but something is making you powerless. Something is draining you. Something is taking over your mind, taking over your body. Something is making you feel the way you feel all the time. What is that? What is that burden? What is that insecurity? What is that vice? What is that addiction? What is this thing? Because it's taking over, and you got to realize that you're being controlled. You're being controlled, and you're not being controlled by anything else. You're being controlled by your insecurities, by your vices, by your ego. Do you understand that? Something is telling you that you're fine, that you're in control of your life, but you're not. You're not. And you perceive that. You can see that in your life. I need you to hone in. I need you to dig deep and kill whatever's making you do the same thing over and over again that's hurting you. I need you to destroy it. I need you to evaporate. I need you to make sure it can no longer enter into your mind, take over your life. I need you to really dig deep and look into yourself. Do that shadow work, and please, listen, I need you to please make sure that thing that's taking over you, that's controlling you, you conquer that and make sure it doesn't never resurrect, never rise again. You burn it from the ground up, from the root up, man. Listen, from the deepest foundation. You make sure that thing can no longer enter into your life, no longer into your mind, no longer into your body. Do you understand that? I need you to conquer yourself, conquer your life, conquer your mind, conquer your world. You are a conqueror. Listen, you are a warrior. You can dominate anything, but guess what? Your main competition is yourself. You have to conquer yourself daily, monthly, frequently. You have to really conquer yourself. And so this week, I need you to really write it down. If you need to, talk to somebody that can be honest with you. That's not going to manipulate you. That's not going to hurt you. That's not going to use your emotions against you. But talk to someone that you feel safe to talk to, and get these things out of you. Get these things. Listen, just have them surface, and I need you to kill it. I need you to evaporate it one at a time. If it's more than one at a time. But make sure you're in a safe place. Make sure you're able to go somebody that make you feel safe, and make sure that you feel safe at the same time. So I need you to really dig deep this week. I need you to really conquer yourself, because if you don't conquer yourself, everything else will. Listen, I'll see y'all next week. Love y'all, man. Thank you once again for tapping into Monday Morale. Please like, share, subscribe, man. Somebody needs to hear this message. I'm not doing this just for the views, man. I'm not just doing this for the clout. I'm doing this to help you. So please, man, share this video, man. This is powerful. We need people to be more powerful, because you are powerful, and destroy everything that's making you powerless. Peace.